All right, today we're going to dissect a financial claim that's been going absolutely viral. It's all about these hidden forces that are supposedly controlling your money without you even knowing it. Let's jump right in.
So it all kicks off with this super powerful hook from a social media post. Get this, 9 dark human behaviors that secretly control your bank account. I mean, that title alone just grabs you, right? It makes you think there's some secret list out there, a key that could unlock everything, and that something deep inside us is secretly sabotaging our success.
And if that title wasn't enough, the claim comes with this absolutely staggering result. The author says their income tripled. Yeah, a 3x increase in just 6 months. A claim like that is pretty much impossible to just scroll past. It just makes you stop and ask, wait, how?
So what's the full story here, really? Let's break down the numbers from this little anecdote, because when you see the scale of what they're claiming, the details get pretty fascinating.
Okay, first off, the source says there are exactly 9 of these shadow behaviors. Not 8, not 10, 9. It's presented as this very specific, identifiable list that experts have supposedly discovered.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting and kind of vulnerable. The author actually admits to having 7 of these 9 habits themselves, and that makes the whole thing so much more relatable, right? It suggests, hey, maybe a lot of us are struggling with these same issues.
And finally, let's talk about the time frame. We're talking just 6 months to see these totally life-changing results. I mean, that is an incredibly fast transformation, which, adds to both the allure and maybe a little bit of skepticism. Tripling your income in 6 months, it really does sound like a magic bullet.
Okay, so this brings us to the heart of it all. What exactly are these shadow behaviors? I mean, the name itself is pretty cool and mysterious, but what does it actually mean? Let's dig into the clues that the source itself gives us.
So the source gives us 3 main descriptors. It says they run silently, they're buried in your subconscious, and of course, they drain your wealth. So we're talking about these invisible forces that are basically working against you behind the scenes.
Okay, so if we put all those pieces together, we can come up with a pretty solid working definition, right? Shadow behavior is basically a subconscious, automatic habit, or even a mindset that's quietly messing with your financial well-being. Think of it like your brain's autopilot is flying you straight into a mountain.
But you have to ask, where did this idea even come from? Is it just some pop psychology thing someone made up? Well, the source actually gives us one major clue, and honestly, this is where it gets really compelling.
The author specifically says, and I quote, behavioral economists discovered 9 shadow behaviors. And boom, that's the key. That one phrase unlocks this whole thing. This isn't just some random claim anymore, it's being tied to a real, legitimate field of study.
So what even is behavioral economics? Well, it's this awesome field of study that explores how all our psychological, cognitive, and emotional quirks affect the economic decisions we make. It basically validates the entire premise here, that our minds, not just a calculator, are what really control our money.
And this comparison just shows the difference so perfectly. See, traditional economics kind of assumes we're all like robots, totally rational, always making decisions based on cold, hard logic. But behavioral economics comes along and says, hold on a second, we're human. It acknowledges the reality that we are often irrational, and our decisions get swayed by all sorts of things, like biases, old habits, and our feelings.
Which, of course, brings us right back to the burning question we started with. After all this buildup, I know what you're thinking. Everybody wants to know, so, what are the 9 behaviors?
And here it is, the big twist. The original post never actually tells you what they are. It's a classic hook, right? It's designed to get you curious, to make you comment and share and ask for the answer. The source was never the answer, it was the question.
But hold on, don't just write it off as simple clickbait, because even without giving us the list, what it does reveal is a much, much bigger and more powerful idea.
So here's the real takeaway, the thing that's way more valuable than some generic list. The post isn't really about money at all. It's a mirror. It's designed to make us look at ourselves and acknowledge that our subconscious is the real CEO of our bank account. And that means the 9 shadow behaviors isn't some universal one-size-fits-all list. It's more like a template. We all have our own unique set of them. And that leads to the real punchline. The first step to financial health isn't finding some secret list, it's self-awareness. The goal was never to give you the answers, it was to make you start asking the right questions about yourself.
And that totally reframes the whole mission, doesn't it? The point isn't to go hunting for the 9 behaviors from someone else's list.
The real work is to start identifying your own. So you see, the source wasn't a treasure map leading to a chest of secrets, it was a key that points you toward the real treasure, which is actually understanding your own mind.
And that leaves us with one last, really powerful question to think about. So instead of wondering, what are the 9 behaviors, the question we should all be asking ourselves is much more personal. It's this: what shadows are controlling your bank account?